Welcome everybody to the, longly anticipated official Taunt Rules video. After a year of me doing this challenge, I'm finally gonna outline the rules. For starters, who made these rules? Well, most of these rules predate my entry into taunting, but I'd attribute most of them to iLike and Nick, since they were sort of the foundation at the beginning, so thanks you two. Of course others helped a ton along the way, but they seem like the most involved. Speaking of those other people, genuine thank you to all of the people who have contributed to taunting in some sort of way. I'd love to list people, but I don't want anyone feeling left out at all. But y'all know who you are. Is there a place where this all happened? Of course. It took place in the Pizza Face taunting server, which is linked in the description and also is linked in the official taunt records sheet. Technically this has already existed in the form of other lists, but those others have only been about a single lap, not all 3 extra. Plus this has Extreme Exhibition and Round 2 in Pursuit. Also note, this list isn't meant to replace those other ones. It's just to have a more convenient spot where all the records can be placed. Now with that being said, let's get into the rules for the Taunt Challenge. By the way, the rules are bound to change or have additions, so please go check the list or the pinned comment. Any new rules or additions will be updated there. Also, if the rules seem different from the other lists, just know some were merged and moved around. There was no removing. Now let's begin. Rule 1. The only taunts that count towards a record are ones done in the first 2 rooms. 3 for the Pizza Gauntlet and Exhibition Endurance. Basically the main rule of the challenge. Actually balance it to make it difficult while having some leniency. The reason for the Pizza Gauntlet and Exhibition Endurance clause is because those are a compilation of all the prior levels, so it feels right to be a tad more lenient. Rule 2. No debug commands that give an advantage, though test info plus F6 and show underscore hitboxes are fine. Test info plus F6 being required if taunt cancels are used. Mostly self-explanatory, just don't cheat, basically. Also, to those that have been asking, this is how to turn on hitboxes and have the taunt counter at the top. Rule 3. Modifying the data.win of the game to give yourself an advantage is strictly prohibited. Again, self-explanatory. Rule 4. Using unrestricted glitches is not allowed. Go see the speedrun.com rules for this one. It'll be linked in the description too. Rule 4B. Try not to pause if possible. Could give an advantage through accidental pause abuse. This rule may sound dumb, but with how fast Pizza Face goes, pausing even once could give the slightest of an advantage. Though if you do pause, it'll be looked over if it actually made a difference at all. Of course, buffered movements are still allowed. Rule 5. Don't interact with the 3rd room onward until all taunts for the run have been performed. Pretty obvious rule, don't do anything past the 2nd room until you've done the taunting for the run. Rule 6, you must complete the level for the record to actually count. Again, obvious. Rule 7, obviously use lunatic mode and taunt enough to change this chaser's speed. Again, extremely obvious why this is here. Rule 8, when doing a lap 5 run, you cannot do it directly after entering the lap 5 portal on lap 4, because of the extra time left over. With War, since it's kinda complicated, you can have whatever time you want, just try to keep it realistic. Some might not like this rule, but it's here to keep the timer on lap 5 consistent with everyone who tries. And for War, with how fast Pizza Face is, the timer usually wouldn't even be a problem. That's all of the general taunt rules in-game. But what about outside of the game? Rule 9. Please have evidence for records, and please post them on YouTube, or a platform where they don't expire. And Rule 10. Spliced runs aren't allowed. All rooms have to be done in one run. Highly recommended to have the in-game timer on to prevent splicing. Sort of obvious rules, but they kinda need to be here. Can't say you've done something without evidence, now can we? Swap mode also has its own specific rules. Rule 11. Swap taunts don't count since they don't affect Pizza Face's speed. And Rule 12. Losing a character and or having a character be a ghost is not allowed. Two-player mode itself is allowed. These are here because swap mode can be very broken for this challenge. You could theoretically get infinite taunts with player ghosts since they can just stall him forever. And finally, some extreme exhibition specific rules. Rule 13. Both pizza time and jawbreaker mode have to be on. And Rule 14, not much of a rule, but cone ball mode and lap nerfs are allowed, however it's for their own categories. Not much to be said with those needed rules to make sure it's actually a taunt challenge. Also, all normal rules also apply to swap mode and extreme exhibition. It's called specific rules for a reason. Same with round 2 in Pursuit. And that's finally all of the rules for the Taunt Challenge. Sorry I never made this video sooner, but at least I finally made it in the end. I just want to give my final thanks to all of the Taunt contributors over this past year and hope that the next one will be just as great. And of course, thanks to the pizza pursuers for actually making this mechanic in the first place. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that, so thank you so much. Now with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed my yapping. Like, comment, subscribe, join the Taunt Discord, and check out the Taunt Records list. Do whatever you feel the need to do, and I'll see y'all next time. See ya!